Blogs in film history, which, by the way, I used to quote to people when I was a performance artist.
The whole thing or just lines?
No, anybody who I worked with, I said, this is our mantra. When we're going on tonight, this is going to be our mantra. If you at all seem confused by anything, this is the mantra. I don't like it when people come up to me a week after a show and say, hey man, I really dug your message. I like it when people come up to me like a week, 2 weeks, maybe a month after the show and say, hey, I saw your show. What happened? That's my mantra for everything.
You want people to...
I think confusion is better than just, that was good.
Indifference? Yeah, I agree.
Yeah,
confusion
because I really dug your message is indifference.
Yeah.
You know, that's what I hated about slam poetry.
It's kind of just like, oh, they're trying to do a message. Let's tell them I liked it.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah, it's kind of like when you tell somebody,
yeah,
but you don't fully mean it, that they're funny.
Yeah.
Like, I only really appreciate the compliment if somebody has like, that bit was, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, that's whenever I'm more like, thank you.
I felt like I went to a workshop one time and gave these people a poem, and some people thought I was like putting them on, or it was like some kind of con. And I was like, that's a fucking achievement. Like, if you don't, when I give you a poem and you go, I don't know if this is fucking like an act of fraudulence.
Are you selling poems and pocket watches?
Yeah, exactly. I got some poetry, motherfuckers.
Yeah. You guys, I got some bootleg DVDs.
The workshop goes, somebody goes, I found it confusing, and then somebody goes, yeah, I think you're doing that on purpose. I think you're trying to confuse people on purpose. I was like, first of all, we spend every week we're in this workshop and we're literally deciphering a poem. That poem that we are deciphering is obviously designed to confuse you. That's why we're deciphering it.
True that.
But then you have like these slam guys who'll be like, yeah, what teachers make. It's the most famous poem. We should play that, but it's really embarrassing to listen to. It'll make you fucking vomit in your mouth. It's so bad. It's the point of the poem is, hey, teachers should get paid more.
I can agree with that. They make garbage
I really
money.
Your message.
Yeah, I can get behind that.
Is there somebody that can't?
Yeah. It's people
Does that person exist?
I mean, one thing I'll say is that it helps me understand shitty teachers.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, or jerk on.
It makes shit teachers seem
a
little bit better. Because I feel like even if they got paid more, you know, there's, I guess for lack of a better word, shitty doctors.
Did you ever have the teacher who, like, you knew smoked weed, and he'd be like, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And he'll explain how to grow it.
Yeah,
growing weed's all about the pH levels.
He didn't explain how to grow it, but...
we had a guy do that.
Mr. Breedemeyer, my guitar teacher, or music teacher in middle school, pretty sure he smoked weed.
And then the guy came back. He disappeared for a while, and then he came back, and he was doing gym, and he had cut his hair a little bit. And
Jim from The Office?
He was banging him right there in front of the students. And we realized, and then I realized very quickly, oh, he was talking so much shit about weed, and because he was fun, we were shooting the shit with him. And he was talking about his improv class and all this stuff that he was taking. And we're like freshmen in high school. And he's talking about growing weed and how he knew Dan Castanella, who plays Homer Simpson, at his Chicago improv class.
That's pretty cool.
So, and then he
whenever...
disappears, and then all of a sudden, he don't want to talk to us. He wants nothing to do with conversations with kids, and he's only in the gym class. And I realized, oh, he got busted. And somebody went to him and go, okay, first of all, you're not going to be in a classroom where you're talking to people. You're going to be in a gym class where you just have a whistle. And you're not going to talk to people.
Just wear shorts, dude.
Yeah,
that's
and
what
you're not going to talk to people anymore about weed.
I think they get paid enough.
What, sub? Oh,
gym teachers.
Oh, David's a fucking substitute teacher. Hewlett.
I know, he's doing 8-hour-long guest spots for a living.
You think he's blowing the whistle and he's like, it's not the Puma. He's like kindergarten cop. He's like,
dude,
you march.
It would be
he has him marching.
Just thinking about like a kid asking him a random question and just starting one of his spirals, you know what I mean? And just like a whole class period of him just like, and then,
far out. Whoa.
People would be But dude, as soon as you said like him doing gym, I just imagine like some dude fucking gym from the office and
Oh,
him
I
just
was doing
like
my friend
finding
Jim.
a camera and just being like, like
Oh, you mean he just does gym
looking at it
impressions?
sarcastically.
He puts your fucking textbook in Jello. I don't know who did that. he picks one
just
random
kidding.
kid in the class.
He just calls all the girls Pam.
There's just yes, and there's a kid named White in the class. It's just some kid he picks on all the time.
No, he chooses the most autistic kid in
Yeah,
the
the
class.
most
and
or the
names
most
him.
anal, the most like the hall monitor,
Yeah,
like the
yeah.
line caller, like the line
He's
police.
like, all right, Dwight, you little bitch.
Fucking line police, and he puts his
That actually
textbook
kind
in
of
Jello.
sounds like a gym, like, you know, a more hyperbolic one in like an 80s movie, but like a gym teacher. That was one thing. My gym teachers weren't like bullies, they were just apathetic as fuck. Because like the gym teachers at my school were also like coaches of like volleyball and like the varsity teams, and
Yeah.
I think they couldn't justify paying them like an actual salary to coach.
We did
Like,
multiple things. Like my gym teacher was also my DMV, like my driving coach.
yeah, one of my gym teachers did the driver's ed too.
Yeah.
But she was also the tennis coach. Like,
Yeah.
although I think one of the soccer coach was like a marine biology teacher. I don't know. I don't know if you need really any credentials to coach high school sports
I always had.
besides maybe varsity football. Because I know our varsity football coach
I always thought
at
that
my
they
high
had
school
just
wasn't
teaching
a
degrees.
teacher.
I thought they all just had teaching degrees, and then they just stick them in a gym class. They stick random guys in a gym class,
Maybe. I don't really
or
know.
anybody who knows about sports.
You know, or if they like, or if maybe you apply for it as a teacher.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
My friend, the quarterback in my school, Matt Chrisman, he was a gym teacher, and then he became a stripper. He's a very handsome man, handsome fellow. And then he moved out
He's
here
got
to
a
Vegas.
hanger on him, I take it.
Moved out to Vegas and became a gigolo.
That's sick, dude.
I don't know what happened to him now. He was in my brother's class, but we were friendly.
The
Because
fucking
he was a hip
kind,
kid. He was a hip kid, man.
The fucking kind or the takeout on
He was
dates
hipper than my
kind?
brother. Huh?
I said the fucking kind of gigolo or the taking out on dates
Dude,
kind?
who the fuck? I figure if you're a gigolo, you're banging dudes. You're not just banging, because if your dick gets hard for an old lady, your dick gets hard for anything. And those guys have a very rare talent.
I think there's plenty of people out there that have old lady fetishes.
I knew a lady that had an old man fetish, and she got very offended because I
Oh,
started
that's
saying,
a very dude. My senior year, my English teacher, who was a very old man, but he was like very college professor style.
yeah,
Like he didn't like ever have notes, and like at that point we had smart boards and like PowerPoint presentations that teachers put together, and he didn't do any of that shit. He just sat at his desk and lectured more or less.
yeah.
Or just had us read whatever book we were reading at that time. And he got fired halfway through the year because he caught a girl that had got caught with a girl that had graduated the year before sucking his dick in the car in the parking lot of the high school. Like a
But he
student,
can do that legally if he's not doing it on the high school.
Yeah, but he was doing it on high school grounds.
Well, he just likes
I
high
think
risk shit.
I think she came to kind of like visit him. And
Did he smoke a pipe?
I don't think so. But like, the girl that did it was honestly a very beautiful girl, but totally the type of girl that would like fuck her English professor. You know,
Oh my
she's
God.
just like he's deep and old and it's hot. Type
But
of
she's
dude.
not. She wasn't like blatantly slutty, but she was like
Yeah,
kinda
she's just
smart.
freaky. She's just freaky and like
Smart and
hip
just-
and like that kind of thing.
Yeah, that's
Like,
the type. That's the
she
brand. of girl.
probably is head over heels in love with Mark Maron. That kind of thing.
Yeah. Anais Nin. There's it's Henry and June. It's Henry Miller. He hooked up with a woman named Anais Nin, who is one of these like I am seduced by his mind. She is like
Oh yeah, what's
French.
it? Sapiosexuals more or less.
Yeah.
I guess.
But this woman was a massive hooey, dude. So she liked older men, right? First of all, she had sex with very famous. She fucked Carl Jung and I can't remember. A famous psychologist. She fucked Antonin Artaud. She fucked Henry Miller. She supported Henry Miller while she was married to another dude, like financially supported him. But here's the
I didn't
best part.
think you meant his politics.
So she liked older men, like Henry Miller, who was like twice her age.
Right.
Right? Because she like had a father thing for father figures, like your lady friend in the parking lot, right? And but then she eventually, guess who she just dropped them all for?
JFK.
Her fucking father. She like skipped the middleman, went straight for the source.
Ugh. That just says, like,
And
I think that makes her dad look
And
worse.
affair. Well, they were older. I'm not making excuses, but this
No.
isn't like he was banging her when she was 12.
No, still.
This was he banged her when she was like 30,
That's still.
and he was 50 in his 50s.
That might even be weirder.
It is. It is. She came to visit him when he was stuck up in the hospital.
It's like not as scummy.
Yeah, they
but
hadn't
a
been
lot
close for years.
weirder.
Yeah, well, that's a thing. It happens. There's a book called The Kiss. Happens when relatives have a long distance between them for long periods of time.
And then they come back together.
Yeah.
And they feel like they're in love.
Yes.
Yeah, I saw a thing about like a mom and her son that were like estranged.
Yeah.
And like how they like fell in love and.
They're like, we can't help it.
all
This
this
is so
shit.
hot.
I guess, dude.
I
It
would
is
say
true.
that. I would say that if I was doing that, and somebody really asked me, I go, when it comes down to it, it's just hot.
It's so weird that like how like popular incest porn actually is.
It was popular back in the 70s, though. People forget that.
I mean, I remember.
It was huge in the 70s.
I mean, all my life, like
and the 80s.
I mean, like growing up, since I've been, looking at porn, I remember like Step Brother and that kind of shit, Stepson.
Oh, I remember.
But,
I remember
like-
Taboo too.
But like, it was never like 3 videos in a row on like the
Where it's everything.
on the porno. Yeah, it's crazy.
Well, I think that's just my algorithm, but is
I
that
mean, I
with
don't-
everybody else's too?
I think so, because like I mean, you hear comics.
Like I'm
always-
asking for it. So.
I mean, you hear comics always talk about
Oh
it. Though,
yeah,
right?
but I mean, it's kind of easy.
I'm just saying, like, yeah, I experience
funny.
it because I don't go out of my way for it, but I also
I
don't
do.
really care
It's
unless
funny.
it starts to bug me if they're like, oh yeah, I love my brother's dick.
It's funny.
and shit like that. But other than that,
step ladder porn.
so, I like that step ladder.
porn. But yeah. But anyways, I had a teacher. One time I had a teacher. I used to have all these cool teachers who were named Paul, which I found very weird. Well, it was only 2, and there was actually a third Paul, but he sucked.
Do they let you call him Mr. Paul or just
No.
Paul? 'Cause
Yeah, they
they're
were just
that
cool. There was WW2 and FDR. WW2 and FDR. That was the one. I didn't like him because he would always say WW2. WW2, FDR. We just had
Instead
a
of-
whole.
The Holocaust. No, I'm
He
trying
never
to
said the
think
word
of-
Holocaust. I don't know how he would say that.
Well, he probably didn't believe it was real.
He probably, yeah, he's from the South.
Yeah.
But one of them was he was in charge of like the school's detention program. So when he came in, like we thought he was going to be an asshole, but I guess
Yeah.
he just like totally overcompensated. And dude, he fucking sat there with a guitar and explained line for line Puff the Magic Dragon and broke it down about how it's about weed. We were like 12. That shit was dope.
Fucking Illinois and the.
No, that was in Pennsylvania. That was in Beaver.
Beaver, Pennsylvania.
I used to live in Beaver, Pennsylvania.
I used to live in a beaver.
Where they.
It was about 8 months or so, and then I was born.
Yeah, wow, your vagina is your house.
Your mom's pussy was your house.
That's weird.
That's fucking
That's bizarre.
weird. I love that fucking shit. That shit. She's fucking hilarious. Like her writing process, or just like the shit that pops and
Yeah,
blows my
no.
mind.
You know what's really funny is that bit that I did last night that I can never get to work is pretty much almost in the exact same idea as his. I take mushrooms, a heroic dose of mushrooms.
Yeah.
And then go inside of a tree, and it's the same principle. It's the same style of joke writing. Where you're just telling a crazy fucking story that doesn't make any fucking sense and has all these little jokes inside of it. But somehow she makes it work, and I can't get that fucking thing to work, and I don't know why.
Try and pace it up a bit.
I've been trying
Because
everything.
she you know, like, you do kind of have a slow delivery.
Yeah. And also, there's also the thing where, this is the thing, is the mushrooms part. When you're eating the mushrooms, it's like an entry point where you're giving permission to do all these things. Whereas mine has no explanation other than I'm claiming that this happened. Somebody said I'm a misogynist because I told them that I know a woman that hides midgets inside of her vagina to stab my penis. But I'm not saying that all women do that.
Misogynist, more like that midget was misogynistic.
She's... I forgot. I didn't massage nobody. That was my joke. I forgot that joke last night. Because some woman called me a misogynist. I said I didn't massage nobody.
My ex-wife said I gave shitty back rubs. That's why she fucked my neighbor.
What am I, Garrison Keeler? What am I, Joe Biden?
I don't know who Garrison Keeler is.
Oh yeah, didn't show it NPR.
I know about old Jay.
He got me too. But dude, did you see?
He's getting more and more delusional.
Oh my god! Dude. Did you see him suck on his wife's finger? Holy fucking shit! That's insane.
Joe Biden, like,
she was giving a speech. He was standing behind her. This is in front of his supporters.
Right.
And she goes like this. She points at him like this, and he just goes.
He's like,
that's cool.
He's a crazy
that's
grandpa.
Weird when you're 30-something. But if you're like an old man, that's stuff I would see in a fucking home.
Exactly. That's funny.
So I mean, but
he makes Bernie Sanders look like he's 26. You know what I mean? Like,
Bernie Sanders
as how like old and delusional
Bernie
Joe Biden
Sanders
seems.
is going to have a great VP. Bernie Sanders isn't really a person. He represents something.
Yeah.
That's what people are voting for.
Who
So
do
it
you
doesn't
think
matter
is
if
going
he's
to be
80.
his VP?
I don't know, but AOC is going to be fucking somewhere in there. AOC's going to be. He's going to give AOC a lot of fucking power.
We're going to get her that Bernie.
That's going to be your first female president. But
2 in the A, 1 in the OC. You know what I'm talking about.
I like the OC or A.
Yeah, she's a very beautiful woman.
And who I respect very much. Talking
about that Cortez lady, right?
We're talking about the broad from New York.
The broad from New York. She wears the
broad
glasses.
from New York.
She's always trying to make a statement.
I assume she knows how to rap music. She's like the J-Lo of socialism.
She seems like she knows the rap music.
She's like a commie, but she's also like J-Lo at the same time. She's perfect.
You know, sexy commies. It's a thing.
Sexy communism is hot. You ever seen La Femme Nikita? I don't know. Whatever.
Okay.
You ever seen... I don't know. There's a lot of hot... Indiana Jones or whatever. I don't know. There's a lot of sexy communists. Just Google it.
Feminatasha.
Feminazis, yeah.
Feminatashas.
Oh, wait, yeah. Boris and Natasha.
Oh, I just made
It's
that
a
up.
sexy couple.
Are they? Boris is such an ugly name.
But I know, but it's not the... It's like Gomez Adams. He has some quality that's just sexy.
Totally. No, I was just saying the name Boris is gross. Like, I've always thought that.
Oh, yeah. But
It's
you
like
can make it
one of
work.
those, it's like, why would you name Boris?
Yeah, it's such a bore. It sounds too much like boring.
There's boring, and then there's the whole, like, boar, like,
Yeah,
which
like
is
the pig.
basically a warthog, yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
Oh, God, you're right.
there's nothing that really
That's like
goes
being
with that well.
pig is or something. So the guy who... So one more, just real quick, what teachers make... This is the essence of the poem. The guy... I've seen this guy live at the Green Mill accidentally, and I almost walked out when I found out it was him. But this guy's
Because is he like a rapist?
in
Or
a
he's
sense
just a
that...
douche?
In a sense, like, culturally he is. He's a Jamie Kilstein type. So he gets up there and he goes... so the premise is he's at... This is, by the way, this is the main problem in this. There's no actual poetry in it. There's no lyricism. There's no lines.
Right.
You get more poetry
It's
in Maya's comedy act than you will get ever
free
in this.
verse or whatever.
You will get more poetry at a stand-up open mic than you'll get from this guy. So he's telling a story about how he's at a dinner party. Okay, strike one. He's at a dinner party, and then there's a lawyer there. And he goes, he's like, the problem with teachers is who would want to learn anything from a teacher? I mean, well, if he knew anything about life, why is he teaching for a living?
Jesus Christ.
Like, because like somebody would really say this to a teacher at a dinner party. This is like the bar scene in Good Will Hunting.
Yeah, that's ridiculous.
This never happens
Yeah.
in real life.
Somebody that was that much of a dickhead wouldn't go out in
Yeah,
public.
would not advertise it.
Yeah, they would get their ass beat too many times to make.
So he goes, why don't you be honest? Why don't you tell us what you make? He goes, what do I make? I make students work harder than they've ever worked in their entire lives. That is why that's why I do comedy. No.
Wouldn't it be funny if he goes, I make Marines, the good, the proud, the strong, and like he just all of a sudden has one of those hats and like the little fucking sword thing that they flip up in the commercial.
What do I make? I make 15-year-old girls who trust me pregnant. And then I never talk to them again.
Tell them it was their boyfriends, not me.
I fail them for giving me an attitude. I make like the road runner when I see a black school. When I have to sub in a black neighborhood. What's his fucking name? I don't like him. He seemed like a nice guy, but I hate him. Anyways, that's the most popular poem in slam poetry. My brother had that fucking clip on his fucking Facebook page, and I went, how dare you? How dare you?
This man killed my
traitor.
father.
You traitor.
You remember Black Bush?
No.
The Dave Chappelle sketch? Black Bush? Yeah.
Yellow cake.
Yeah, that man killed my father.
Yellow cake. What's this?
Oil. Who said something about oil? Bitch, you cooking?